We'll chat again in a few, after this stream. I'm taking a few days off. Gonna go visit some family, but hey, we can end this great run of franchise. Not that we're not going to continue it once we're back with one more draft and hopefully an example of the Pittsburgh Pirates making the playoffs for the very first time. I do still have to set up rotations and such. So let's do that really quickly. And we'll see what we're dealing with. I think Ken Watts is going to be our closer at an 85 overall. Still have Fielder as the setup man. And everyone else gets to pitch a little bit more. Harper Rivera, that closer, does have actually good stamina. That's funny. Is there a reason why I can't drop someone to that middle relief spot? There we go. So rotation-wise, it is Gilberto Coronado, who's insane at this point. Bobby Tom Brady. Coronado, by the way, 29. Bobby Tom is 31 already. Carlos Delgado Jr., Chris Montanez, and Johnny DaCosta. Harper Rivera as the long reliever. And then Galloway, Espinoza, O'Neill, Miranda. So our relievers with Fielder as the setup man and Ken Watts as our closer. Not bad. AAA wise. AAA. We can go with Varela and Hidalgo as our one reliever. Oh yeah, we don't have that many lefties at all. It's kind of crazy how that happened. Oh man, it's just all C potential dudes. Let's go with Lima and Spencer. Let's go with no actual setup man or closer and just leave it up to chance. None of them can afford to not get that many innings pitched. And then AA. We know we got to get Dyer in there a little bit more. Get Esposito out of there. This dude has 1 stamina. GG. All right, I'll get Dyer, Dixon, Christensen. Dyer with that A potential at 19 years old. We don't care about Little, Covey, or Webb. Let's just, get Kingman and Esposito. Those are the only 2 relievers that we care about. 21B for Kingman at a 57, not looking great. In terms of the lineup, we know Rick Gutierrez is going to play third. And I do think we leave Rene Gutierrez and Darren McCauley out of it. Again, we tried like hell to have Rene Gutierrez develop, but how much longer can we wait, you know? How much longer can we wait? Especially when someone who's so defensively strong like Hamlin might further develop. He might. Kind of ruin lefty specialist anyway with the 3-batter rule. That's true. That is true. See, I don't think we can invest that much more in Gutierrez, who keeps getting worse every year. But this lineup is looking decent. I know the game says we can't hit worth a damn, but I don't think that's true. Don't think that's true. Yeah, Ricky Gutierrez in at third base. AAA wise. Guzman, 24B potential. Otts, 25. Calderon with a C. Gaucho with a C. Chad Dean is an A, but he's terrible overall. We don't want John Penny in center, and we don't want Emerson Page at DH, so that makes the decision pretty easy to get these guys into the lineup.
Oh,
and AA-Y is a little bit more difficult. Shout out to Greasy Meatball. Appreciate the follow. All right, let's see. We need a third baseman. We don't care about Jason Funk. It's just Nunez. So Gutierrez can play third, no problem. Get Madden out of there. That works. All right, so relatively quick and easy to get these teams set up and ready to go. Check our scouts really quickly. The scouting staff is still fine. Top prospects in baseball. Yeah, no shit. Justin Brown and Daryl Slade, the 2 generational talents that finally showed up, are the top 2. But we do have Mr. Fritas at number 5, and Ricky Gutierrez starts the season at number 7. But of course, he is about to go pro. Rockies draft glory. It's a good team to use, especially if you draft power hitters. All right, we see Alan Dyer at number 40 as our only other addition to the prospect list. So, in terms of high caliber prospects, we have taken a little bit of a hit. And I'm excited for this season, though. Andy Holland at second. This team is really, really taking shape. You could still find some weaker points, but not in a general sense. We're going to go over under 70 wins on the season. Are we going to push? Are we going to push for a playoff spot? Scouting-wise, 13th. The number 5 overall pick. Top of that, 36 and 40th. 3 picks in the top 40 is phenomenal for us. I think, again, given it's the top 5, we have to focus on best available for a little bit. Elevation does matter in terms of hitting home runs, yes. Yes. All right, well, let's go off of MLB rank, and apparently this is the year. This is the year for closers. My goodness, the top 3 guys on MLB's list are all closers. Double A already has an injury. 4-4. Start the year. Oof. All right. 2 of those closers might be worth a damn. Jamal Hirsch is a bust waiting to happen. Good to know. Larry Meyer. All of these guys are equally good now at pitchers and position players. Because, of course, we fired our last scouting department in full after last year's disaster. And it looks like a rather pitching-heavy draft yet again. What a week for the Pirates. 9-6. Not a bad way to start, huh? Not bad at all. Well, we barely scouted out Rivera. Shortstop, Chris Castillo. Starter reliever, shortstop. All right. I mean, again, the bullpen help is the last thing we need, but if it is the best player, oh my God, guys, we're 14-7. This might be the year. This might finally be the year. I got to get rid of this other scout. His efficiency, I was wondering if it would be too low at a 67. It's abysmal. He's got to go. He's got to go. Let's go for Ken Whitmore. Why not? We have those 2 top-notch scouts at the very least to carry the weight. I'll take that. Maybe you're winning a lot of 3-1 and 4-2 games instead, right? Okay, we do some mid-scouting staff changes. 2 starters and a closer. Man, this is such a pitching-heavy draft again. Oof, rough week for us, crashing back down to reality. 69 days out from the drafts. Jason Gill as a starter looks pretty damn promising. Guaranteed A potential, apparently. Albert Nah. As opposed to Alberta. Nick Klein. And Tejeda. All starters again. This is not the draft for position players. From the looks of it. From the looks of it. All right, really quickly. Another starter. Another starter. And another starter, Chu Yan. Yep. Wow. Wow. Well, thankfully, as we do suffer an injury, thankfully this was not the year that we needed to draft a position player. A lot of tough injuries there. Juan Guerrero, but then you get into Pablo Ramirez, DJ Liss, Alberto Miranda. Suffered from some tough injuries so far this year. What the hell are we going to do in this draft? Oh my God. Starting pitching everywhere. It's a good thing you can never have too many good starters. We're 3 games over 500, but still, it's not too bad. You know, we're in week 8. Let's start looking at our personal team rank and getting completed information for the dudes at the top of the list. Wow. I think we've scouted 2 position players so far, if that. 1 for sure, but 26 and 26. This is definitely the year. Look at Damon Iverson, Chris Chase, and Kevin Walter to finally start looking at some position players. Finally. Let's hope these scouts are right that these guys could be half decent. 34 days out from the draft. It's not looking good. It's not looking good. Get more information on Michael Compton, Miguel Urban, Jared Worth, starter, reliever, closer. Jesus. Oh, how are those generational players? Are they both in MLB yet? I don't want to look. That's the issue. They're playing Slade in AAA, where he's batting .294. And Oakland is playing Brown in the majors, where he already has 11 home runs and a .278 average. Ugh. All right, under a month out from the draft. We are now 5 games under 500, so maybe this is not the year. Let's look at Brad Watson, first baseman. Starting pitcher Charlie Frost. And Boris Rowe. So a couple of first basemen in the mix. Hey, let's not miss out on a good power-hitting first baseman, huh? Oh, wow, we are Pittsburghing, is the only way to put it. This team is in the process of actively choking. You hate to see it. Keep looking at a lot of the similar guys. This is, well, man, how many injuries can Double-A have in a season? All right, Rowe, Watson. That low chance at an A potential, though, is a little bit scary. Eddie Segura as the reliever. George Jimenez as a closer. Pedro Campos. Let us look. Pretty rough week. We won the last 2 games, though, against St. Louis. What the hell, man? The draft quality has fallen off of a cliff. Jimmy Dickens. The draft quality, I swear, has fallen off of a cliff. That is our last bit of scouting before the draft. We're at 41 and 49 as we enter the 2032 draft. I have no idea how this is going to go. Number 1 player in the draft is apparently closer Wayland Montero. And I can see it, but I'd prefer not to take him 5th overall if he is available. I can see why he'd be up there. There's also Michael Compton, who also looks solid, but I don't think I'd want to take him 5th overall. Jose Irizarry, Same thing. They all look decent. Mike Palmer. Not bad. Some of the per 9s are a little bit low and the control, but not bad. Mr. Frost. Some of the per 9s are pretty low, but that guy's a fireballer. Boris Rowe on first base. We might have to. We might have to, just to know. Just to know for sure with that potential power. There's Jared Worth, another starter who looks decent. Not generational on paper. Same for Campos. Okay, Jason Gill is that guy who's guaranteed a potential, according to our scouts. A lot of that rating comes from he has a really good fielding arm, but that's about it. I mean, never bad to get a guaranteed A, even if he's 22 years old. Dickens is the same as the others. Steve Vera. Vera doesn't look that bad. Brad Watson as a first baseman. I don't hit the wrong button. Brad's pretty promising. Good power against lefties, better contact against righties. Man, I haven't exactly seen the guy yet, though. You know? Coco! You absolute handsome devil. How the heck are you? And how did the stream go? We are a little bit focused in for what looks to be a frankly terrible draft that we have to get right. A big cowabunga to everyone coming over from Coco's. I appreciate you. I hope the stream went well, and it did. Hope everyone's doing well. How's the baseball and charity stream? Charity's not bad. The option is still open, by the way, ! Charity, but we did do our big giveaway already. Stream ended with a new champ. Ooh. Is it just me, or does that title change hands quite a bit, Coco? Okay. So in terms of availability, you got the closers. 81 to 93. 78 to 94. I don't think we're going to take a closer with the 5th overall pick. I think we can aim elsewhere. The problem is, for the most part, it's all starters. So we'll see who's still available and take it from there. Let's go to the draft. Let's go to the draft. Washington, Kansas City, and Colorado start us off. And the Nationals take Mr. Dirty Jobs himself, Boris Rowe, the first baseman. Was he the one with the boatload of power? We'll have to double check that. Maybe they found something that they like. 2nd overall, the Kansas City Royals are going to select starting pitcher Larry Meyer, which is fine by me. He doesn't look all that great, to be honest. You had to defend triple threat. So that sounds like Coco booking. Hey, new champ. Here's a Hell in a Cell match. Have fun. The Colorado Rockies go for Charlie Frost, starting pitcher. Yeah. All right. Was Boris Rowe the guy with the crap load of power? Yes, he was. All right. Well, at least if he ends up being good, we had no chance to get him. You have the Blue Jays at 4, and they select starting pitcher Chu Yan. So quite a few guys on our list are still there, including the one first baseman, Brad Watson. But a 74 to a 90, that seems like a risk for a guy who's probably B potential, right? There's Mike Palmer. Strong chance of a B potential. Could be an A, could be a C. Campos, it's a little bit worse. I mean, Jason Gill, guaranteed A potential. The attributes aren't that bad, but man, given the state of this draft, I think we go with the guarantee. He's slightly older. Sorry for calling a 22-year-old slightly older. But Jason Gill is going to be the guy. Let's play it safe. We won't 4D chess it. I mean, we could, right? For like, okay, well, this guy has the best attributes, that type of thing, but not in this draft. I'm a little bit worried about Brad Watson. Yeah, we're going to go for starting pitcher Jason Gill. True. No, nope. He's not a lefty. He's a righty. He bats lefty. Would have been nice if he was a lefty, but again, he should be a guaranteed A potential if our scouts are right. So I'm pretty happy with that. We'll take the guarantee. No need to risk it this time out. Philadelphia takes starting pitcher Pedro Campos. Again, didn't look bad, but with that potential range, it's kind of a tough call. Cleveland at 7 takes shortstop Chris Castillo, who according to our scouts is terrible. We'll see if our scouts are right. Giants take first baseman Andreas Fernandez. So that other first baseman we liked was still on the board. They take a guy who was projected 89th, 8th overall. Damon Iverson, center fielder. Projected 20th. He goes 9th to Houston. And at 10, starting pitcher Mike Palmer goes to Tampa Bay. And again, Palmer looked pretty decent too. Promising velocity. Angels at 11 take Albert Nah, who we said no to. At 12, Henry Alonso off to the Mets. Starting pitcher. Baltimore at 13, second baseman Kevin Walter. A little bit early. Tampa picks a pitcher, they're automatically good, right? Chicago at 14 takes Norman Martins. Another starting pitcher, can you believe it? Based off of how this draft was looking. San Diego takes starting pitcher Christopher Frazier, who was projected 56th. Okay, will they be right? The Athletics take starting pitcher Jared Worth, who again looks like he will be the right pick. You thought I was going to say Worth it. You're wrong. Virgil Black, catcher. 75th projected, goes 17th to Detroit. I guess they really needed a catcher. Cincy at 18 takes starting pitcher Johnny Healy, who did not pass his physical. Minnesota at 19, left fielder Andy Quinlan. Projected 47th, so again, as per usual, a lot of teams going off the board. Atlanta takes first baseman Brad Watson. Was that the pick they needed? Was that the pick? Was that the pick? Because it did look like he was going to be pretty damn good. Diamondbacks take Stevie Vera, who does look okay as well. Yankees at 22, starting pitcher Nicholas Klein. Again, our scouts didn't really like him a whole heck of a lot. Seattle, starting pitcher Geraldo Tejeda. Yeah, all the dudes that were on our list are off the board, so we might be best guessing as far as second round's concerned. Freddie Hopkins off the board to Texas. Just gotta hope we get that first pick right. Dodgers, Jimmy Dickens. Starting pitcher, Jimmy Dickens. Cardinals, the number one projected player, that closer, Jamal Hirsch. And if our scouts are right, Cardinals are going to regret that big time. Actually, maybe not at 26. Richard Cortez, right fielder, goes to Boston. Milwaukee takes center fielder Ken Taylor. So there were a lot of outfielders projected in round 2. We'll see if teams are right to take them early. Miami takes third baseman Chris Chase. Would have been great to take him in the next round. And the world champion White Sox select Greg Sullivan, the starting pitcher. So again, we have back-to-back picks. Actually, we don't. We have 36 and 40, which still isn't bad. Let's sim to our picks. So it's Felipe Mora, Waylon Montero, Peter Buchanan. Third baseman goes way off the board. Isaac Lilly and Michael Compton. So yeah, a lot of those relievers are off the board here too. Except for Jose Irizarry, who does have a good chance. Closer, Jimenez, we'd obviously go for Irizarry based off a listed potential. Yeah, I think that would be the smarter decision. Hell of a cough. Urban, based on that potential, no thank you. Do we have anybody else? Not really. We're going to have to go through this whole damn list. Let's take Jose Irizarry, the closer. Why not? Not that we need another closer, but hey, you never know. You never know when you might need to filter some people in and out of the team. Julian Rodriguez, the shortstop off the board. Steve Wong and Estevan Castilla. So we're back on the board. And at this point, we're kind of going off of potential. Kind of going off of potential. Again, we won't have everybody scouted. Not even close. We are getting very close, though, to me doing generalized scouting. I think next year is the first year because we won't likely have a top 10 pick unless we continue to struggle. Eduardo Santana with that potential looking promising if we can trust it. If we can trust it. Anybody above the 65 to 99? Anybody? This guy, Diego Lopez. For a starting potential that is above a 65. Even that guy's got a good chance of being a B. What we know about him. There we go. Richard Yu as a center fielder. I don't know much about Howard Noble, but man, if our scouts are right, although he'll probably be a high potential, low overall, based on his age. A lot of 65 to 99. Sandoval.
Oh, good.
Anybody else? Anybody? Fucking Sagan, huh? Appreciate the follow. Question is, fan of what team? There's a couple of options. Let's see, Trevor Wells as a first baseman. Sorry, I'm trying to focus because we're on a timer here too. All right, well, next projected guy that we actually kind of like. It is another starter. It's going to be Eduardo Santana. We'll say the son of Johan. We're going to go for Eduardo Santana. Hope for the best. That's all we can do. Round 3. It is either catcher Diego Lopez, well-rounded, or Emilio Mora. Potential looks a bit weaker. He looks like a really defense-first shortstop that we know of. We do have a lot of shortstops. I could use another catcher in the system. Let's go for Lopez. That last starter was a lefty. Well, knowing our luck, he'll be trash. So, round number 4. Mora is still there. A lot of these guys are going to go off the board next. So Mora's got the fielding. This reliever's not that bad. Center fielder Richard Hughes got nothing going for him. Nor does Howard Noble. Again, we can still draft for need, I'd say, a little bit more. Let's go for Mora. Not that we need another shortstop, but we'll go for Emilio. Attribute-wise, looked relatively promising. Round number 5. It's one of these two. We already went for one shortstop, even though that shortstop's potential is awesome. Let's go for our second reliever of the drafts. You know what? No, I'd rather miss on a shortstop than hit on a reliever at this point. We'll go for our second shortstop of the draft. Let's go for Howard Noble. Hope for the best. I know he's old. And that makes it easy. Our final pick of this draft will be the first baseman, Trevor Wells. Best guessing down the stretch. It's all we can do. It's all we can do. Let's see, home run derby at Angels Stadium. We do not have an entrant. Bit surprised. We do have some guys on the team with some power. As the Yankees end up making a trade. Let's see. Who did we have in the All-Star game? You got to have at least one dude. Kenny Watts as a reliever. Howard O'Neill as well. So 2 relievers so far. Jude DeWitt. My God. Only we took old Jude DeWitt. We have anybody else? No, just the 2 relievers. Just the 2 relievers. That's a bit disappointing. All right, let's do our annual All-Star call-ups. So Eduardo Reyna. We'll go to double. Maurice Burnett. We'll go to double. And then from there, well, it's a little bit more difficult. I actually think we got to take a look at the general picture here. Both those guys are still in double. There's nothing to change there. First base, Ramirez, Burnett. I mean, that's fine. Send Strickland down to single. Madden's out for 1 to 2 months. Second base, Andy Holland. Only batting .236 so far this year. He's with Nunez. You got Obama and Wills. Dale in double. Reyna's now in double. Gene Adams is not ours. No problem there. Scott Obama. Welcome to the major leagues. To get Eduardo Reyna a slightly better spot in Double-A. And we got Nunez off the 40-man. Welcome Scott Obama to the major leagues. He's gone through a whole lot of injuries. Let's see. Dean's fine where he is. Carter's in double. That still looks good. Fritas Calderon. That's still good as well. Okay, Ken Hahn. Ideally. Would also go to AAA. But AAA has a lot of people there already. Honestly, I think we're good. There's not too much we have to do in terms of shuffling things around. And honestly, it might just be start of the season. Hey, where we put you is where you are for the whole year. Let's see. Got to at least know before we call it a night what our situation is at the draft. So we got Irizarry. We have Gill. Let's start off with our first round pick, 5th overall. Mr. Jason Gill, who declines the first offer. Irizarry declines his first offer. And Eduardo Santana declines his first offer. Okay. We are playing hardball here. Let's look at Trevor Wells. Emilio Mora. Howard Noble. Trevor Wells declines. We are 0 for 4. Mora declines 0 for 5. Howard Noble declines. The first 6 players that we contact declined our initial offers. We have never had that happen before. We also have never had where just one guy is the sole survivor in terms of lack of interest. What a weird start to the recruitment. Back to 3 games under 500, by the way. All right, Diego Lopez, let's try to sign you. He declines. Make it 0 for 7. Jason Gill declines 0 for 8. Irizarry Hey, there we go. We finally got one. My God. What about Eduardo Santana? He also declines. Jesus. We have never had this rough of a start. Damn. Wells declines. The son of Vernon. All right, Amelia Mora signs. Lopez is locked, apparently, even though he's at 50%. Interesting. Weird start to this, man. Very weird start. All right, Mr. Lopez signs. Jason Gill, our 5th overall pick, signs. There we go. And Santana declines again. It's Wells and Noble as the final 2 holdouts. Wells signs. Howard Noble signs. So we got 1 holdout left. It was a rough start. Santana's the last one. Santana is the last one. We can just give him all the money. There we go. All right, we got everybody signed. The question is, did we do good? Did we do a good job? Starting to get trade offers. Teams are more interested in what we have on roster. All right, chat, here we go. This is it. 1 game under 500. Here we go. Did we do good in the draft? Please don't tell me this first starting pitcher's a bust. He's not a bust. The Canadian Jason Gill. A 62 is slightly low at 22 years old, but he is exactly what our scouts said he was, and for that reason, I am quite happy. Jason Gill, welcome to the team. Irizarry as a reliever. Not bad at all. Another guy in the mix for us. Eduardo Santana, our first lefty. Low overall, but has the age and potential to get better. That catcher Diego Lopez does not. Are you our worst draft pick yet? I think you are. I think you are. Emilio Mora's not much better. Son of Melvin. Howard Noble. Oh, boy. All right. Well, our depth picks this year, outside of Trevor Wells, but he is a 40. Our depth picks this year. Oh, man. And barely an A for Gill. Our depth picks this year sucked. We likely did very well with Gill. Time will tell if there was somebody better. But yeah, this was hardly our best draft.